Bank Stadium in the Twin Cities. Today, after a crazy opening weekend, it's on to week 2, and we've got a good one here between the Green Bay Packers and the Minnesota Vikings. The first game's out of the way. Time to buckle down for the long season ahead, and we're off in week 2.
Out of his end zone comes Andy Isabella. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18.
Vikings take over first and 10 at their own 18-yard line.
First play, first pass for Brady.
And his first pass here is going to fall incomplete. Well, that's not the way you want to start. A first pass attempt and a first drop all in one.
Well, you've got plenty of time to make up for it, but obviously not the way you want. Started, got to shake that off and get going.
Brady's incompletion on first down leads to a 2nd and 10. The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. And just play number 3 here on the opening drive, and it's an early 3rd and 1. On play action, it's Brady. The first catch of the game for George Kittle.
And he is finally forced out of bounds inside the 30-yard line.
A big play there for Minnesota. 34 yards. A bit of a catch for him to remember. That's number 400 for his NFL career. Not a bad number at all. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. A first carry now for Dalvin Cook. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
The Vikings 1-0 on the year following the win in Week 1. And they've gotten a pretty good deal from the schedule makers as well. Home dates in Weeks 1 and 2.
And I would believe that they would need to take advantage of that, partner, because as you can imagine, the road dates will pile up later this season. So this is a great opportunity for them to put some early distance on the rest of the division and create a little bit of a cushion for them for later in the year.
And he'll be marked down right at the 20-yard line.
That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he was unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
And I see an extra defensive back on the field. Little surprise here on 3rd and 1. They'll run it. Here's Cook. And he will have the first down across the 20 to the 19-yard line. If you make the stop there, maybe you hold them to 3 on this opening drive. They didn't get the stop.
Yeah, new set of downs now. Now you're worried about, just as you pointed out, not just giving up 3, possibly giving up 6. Let's see what they decide to do here, because they've got to change up what they have been doing. It hasn't been working.
So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20.
Now Brady. Escaping the pressure right. And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up 2nd down.
This is where good coaching and execution come into play, because down this close, you absolutely don't want to turn it over. Good job keeping that in mind as he escaped, bought time, and decided throwing it away was his best option.
Brady's incompletion on 1st down leads to a 2nd and 10. They'll look to throw here. Touchdown!
Justin Jefferson.
His 1st touchdown of the new season.
And the Vikings are on the board first here this afternoon.
Well, these guys scored touchdown after touchdown in that win a week ago. So how do they come out this week? Same way. They've got that momentum going. A touchdown on the opening drive.
I think it's safe to say that they're in a groove, isn't it? I mean, a lot of times we've seen where teams have scored a ton of points the week before. The very next week struggle to score almost as if they used it all up. Not in this case. This group appears locked in.
You're going to have to make some adjustments if you're on the other side of that football. Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away.
This is taken just shy of the 10.
Will bring the pack up with a 1st and 10 at their own 23. Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
2nd down, another shot for Jones.
And this time not as successful as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the 1st here.
Off the play fake to Jones. Here's Rodgers. And this throw will be intercepted. Picked up by Harrison Smith.
And this turn is definitely not what they were wanting to see. Remember, he threw 3 interceptions in the loss last week, and now he gives the ball away again here in the very 1st quarter.
And you have to think that this was drilled into him all week, too. His teammates, his coaching staff, they told him all week long, we've got to protect the football. They probably crossed that fine line with giving him the right advice and saying it too much, and it turned out that it got into his head a little bit.
He'll dump this off to Cook. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and that will bring up 2nd down. Getting the ball is Cook running left. And a short pickup there down to about the 9. Only a yard of the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
Well, they were handed great starting field position on this drive, but now they face a 3rd and 4. To throw is Brady.
They're looking for Jefferson, but this is intercepted.
Devondre Campbell, the linebacker, picks him.
And the Packers will take over here at their own 12-yard line.
And as we've seen, points have been precious so far, and they just threw some away on that snap. And look, let's face it, as we advance further into this game, that play will be on the minds of everyone who's watching it. They wonder if this is the turning point. Is this the spot where those points are given away and could cost them a ball game?
And able to get this to the 24-yard line. They began the play at the 12. It's also a pickup of 12 for the 1st down.
That's a nice run right there, able to get to the outside, and so many times defenses say, okay, we got you hemmed in. But if you're running the football, at least you know where everyone is coming from. You don't have to worry about the backside at all. That allows you to run with a little bit more confidence as you traverse down the field.
And he'll take this one up close to the 25-yard line.
Carlos Basham able to make the play defensively.
That's someone who's pretty happy right there. That's the defensive coordinator. Body after body getting to him before he can get started.
Now it's 2nd and 9.
To throw is Rodgers.
And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him out defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down.
Brandon, we saw these defenders flying to the football in their win last week, and nothing has changed. They're still moving around quickly and forcing incompletions.
Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. And that is incomplete, but a penalty flag coming in. This could be a 1st down.
Well, that one hurts. I mean, it was 3rd down, of course, but now the penalty, and we're back to 1st down.
Yeah, it hurts momentum in a big way. They built that up here in the early going. Now, that leaves the opposition with a 1st down. That's a mistake you don't want to make at this point in the game.
After the penalty, it's Jones.
And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6. This defense for the Vikings, terrific last week in the season-opening victory.
And as in any game, takeaways are always a big key. They're always discussed on defense. There's an emphasis there. And they came away with 3 interceptions in that game.
After one, 7-0 on EA Sports.
So 3rd and 2. This quite possibly 4-down territory, though, if they're stopped. They'll try and run for it with Jones. And he'll be tackled about 2 yards short of the game. 1-yard pickup leads to 4th down.
3rd and 2, and they ran the ball for only 1 yard. Everybody's going to scream at the offense. Let's give a lot of credit to the defense on that play. Defensive front out leverage the offensive line. They got more people to the football. Yeah, they won that battle in a big way, and they're forcing a big decision now by the guys on offense.
Needing the tough yards, they run it with their fullback. And he is not going anywhere. They stop him for no gain. He needed 2, but he doesn't come anywhere close. And the Vikings defense is going to get the football back. But it was too far for a field goal try. You don't really gain a whole lot out of a punt, so I don't think you have much of a problem with that, do you?
No, not at all. I think it's the right play, the exact right play, because even if you want to play defense and pin them deep, you know how hard it is for a punter to knock one dead inside the 10-yard line. That's not necessarily easily done. So I think going for it there was the right call.
Now they air it out to start the drive, and it's complete. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. A great play there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Vikings are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
Extra play by Blankenship is up and good.
And it's now 14-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
This one taken just inside the 10. And he'll be brought down right on the chalk of the 20.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway.
Well, early on, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game, but I think when it comes within your division like this, it's a measuring stick game with a little extra intrigue.
I would agree with that totally because all division games have a little extra to them. But I like where this game is situated because at this stage of the season, it has that little extra juice, but at the same time, it's not a make or break if this were, let's say, week 15, 16, somewhere in that neighborhood.
The second down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense, and guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature and make sure you don't get hurt.
And he's not going to sniff the first down here. He stopped at the 25. Call it a gain of 4, but not enough. The punt team going to need to be summoned here on 4th down. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. That's pulled in at the 32. A nice punt, but a good run back as well, 13 yards. And it will be Vikings ball, 1st and 10. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
Well, partner, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. 1 play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
Brady's incompletion on 1st down leads to a 2nd and 10. Looking to throw. This one brought in by Jefferson. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. Throwing is Brady on 3rd down. Got an open man, finding Jefferson. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. That's a gain of nearly 40 yards on 3rd and medium to pick up the first. So after the big play, look at this, all the way down at the 15 now on 1st and 10. Into the red zone, it's Brady. He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. Tom Brady, his 3rd touchdown pass of this first half. And the Vikings have moved out in front by 3 touchdowns.
Extra point by Blankenship is up and good.
And it's now 21-0. Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings booming away.
This is taken just shy of the 10.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway.
Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession, but I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit. And if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
And here's Jones again on second down.
And he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35. After a gain of 5, they'll wind up being about a length of the football short here on third down.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
And Jones is not going to have the first down.
Short. And now some disagreement down on that sideline. The red flag is out, and we're going to get a challenge.
Some indecision on getting the punt team out there, and they're going to get a delay.
So they accept the penalty, of course, and push the offense backwards a bit.
On now is the Packers punter, as he'll kick it away for the second time. That's taken on the 25. 1:55 left to go in the first half of play. On first down, Brady. Being chased out left. And his throw is incomplete.
Well, he certainly did a nice job improvising there, extending the play, hoping someone would come open downfield, but they never did.
Brady's incompletion on first down leads to a 2nd and 10. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw.
To the right side and complete to Jefferson.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. They get 14 there. First down, Vikings. Brady now to throw. Flush to his right. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away, incomplete. Now that'll bring up 2nd down.
Well, sometimes an incompletion is the right play. And he showed that he's learned from his earlier interception on that throw. Instead of forcing it, he just tossed it away.
Looking back to the air on 2nd down, it's Brady. Packer pressure, and down he goes. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
Traditionally, as a defense, your #1 job, stop the run. But in today's football, it's impacting the opposing quarterback. Make him uncomfortable. And so far, they've not been able to do that.
Not at all. He's been really comfortable in the pocket. 3 touchdown passes already.
So that could be an important first sack if they do want to turn things around.
Brady's throw on 3rd down there is incomplete.
So on 4th down, on is the punter, Ryan Wright.
He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. Only 29 yards on the punt there. Definitely not his best. And it'll be Packer football here. First down and 10. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway.
And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, and this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
Throwing again on second down, but this time it's incomplete.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
Rodgers now to throw. And Woods has it complete. And he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play. And he's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. A 40-yard punt, give him 3 on the return. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And with a 21-0 lead already, no need really to take any unnecessary risks. On first and 10, here's Brady. And he's got this to Jefferson. On the move past the 30. And he steps in. He's been up before he gets inside the 35. A big play there just before halftime. 41 yards.
Well, you don't have to be a genius to watch this game and figure out they've had plenty of success moving the football here in the first half. We've seen exhibits A, B, C, and right on down the line, haven't we?
Yeah, we just saw exhibit Z right there.
Brady's throw here taken in by Isabella.
Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see.
Let's just call it what it is. This has been a flat-out struggle for this defense all game long. They've really had a hard time slowing them down. And while I'm not big on speeches and guys jumping up and down, they might need their team leader on defense to get in their face right now and light a fire under these guys. They've got to start playing better assignment football and start getting guys on the ground.
Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. 2 seconds left on the clock.
Right up to that point, I was about to say he's had a pretty good half catching the football, but let's just be honest about it. He should have caught that one.
And he knows that. That was one right in his breadbasket and one he normally catches.
Blankenship's kick is good.
And that will do it for this first half. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. The Packers set to get the football first, and they are trailing on the scoreboard as we resume action, ready for the third quarter.
Taken from about the 12. And he won't quite make it to the 25.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway.
And you have to think, Charles, down 3 scores already. They need to play an almost perfect second half to have a solid chance.
Going to Woods, but that pass is intercepted. And the Vikings are going to take possession of the football. Well, that one is going to sting. First play of the third quarter and a turnover.
And you have to know that at halftime, they spent a lot of time going through their checklist of what they wanted to accomplish to start this third quarter. Turning it over like this was not on that list.
Not at all. first drive to establish momentum is very key.
Crucial.
And he got blown up, losing yardage on the play back at the 44. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down.
And that's what this defense is going to need to do more in the second half. Good pressure that time, forces some indecision in the backfield. He's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. They run it again with Cook. And he's going to get stopped up quickly. Give him a yard down to the 43. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin too.
We'll see what they have drawn up here. A little bit behind the line. 12 yards needed to gain a first down. Now Brady. That ball complete to Isabella. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. So coming on now is the field goal unit. They're going to try for 3, and he'll need all the leg he's got here. Blankenship's kick is good. And the lead increases even further. It's 27-0 now. Whatever was said in the locker room during the break must have worked. They forced the turnover. They didn't get the touchdown, Charles, but it does translate into 3 points to begin the second half.
Exactly as they discussed in the locker room at halftime. Get some points to get things kick-started. Now start your half off with some momentum. Gives you something to build on for your next possession.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual. That was a really nice run there to bring up 3rd and short. After the incompletion on first down, it's awfully nice to have a running back that you can hand it to and put you back in a good situation.
Rodgers going to try and throw on 3rd down. And that is incomplete.
They've certainly put it up to the top 10 defensive ranking this week. They've stifled this opposing offense throughout this game. This contest is now lopsided because of their efforts, and there's still a quarter to go.
And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. Fielded just inside the 30. It'll be a 39-yard punt, 4 on the return. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Last time out, you remember their drive stalled, but thanks to their kicker, booted a long field goal to at least get them 3. Now here they'll try to do better and find the end zone.
And in our experience, how much fun is it for coaches to know that they've got a kicker who can nail it from long distance? Now the hard part is, as an offensive play caller, you don't want that in your head too much where you're relying on it, and he goes out and gets the job done for them. But I'm quite sure he would be content to just kick extra points from here on out.
Yeah, absolutely no question. I think his teammates would be okay with him just kicking the extra points as well. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. That'll wind up as a loss on the play, so now they're staring at a 3rd down and 12. On play action, it's Brady. They're looking for Jefferson, but this is intercepted. Picked off by Darnell Savage. And the Packers are going to take possession of the football. Well, to be blunt, not a whole lot has gone right for this defense in this ball game, but that's something right there. Still in the third quarter. It would take something around miracle territory for a comeback, but maybe that's a start, Charles.
It certainly is, and they're definitely showing that there's some fight still left in them. Hasn't been a banner day. They're trying their best to put that disappointment behind them and find ways to make plays.
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's second and a couple. They'll go again to Jones. 65 yards on the ground for him now as he's done that on 15 carries.
But we always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. Well, 2nd and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. But a lot of times the play caller, he just looks down at his sheet, sees the short yardage runs, and goes to one of those.
Jones running on first down, but finding it pretty tough going as he'll get forward for only about 3 there before he's taken down. Play action. Now it's Rodgers. Pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line. He shot in, CD, like he was out of a cannon from that linebacker position, and even though they had a running back in the backfield, no one could stop him.
Well, you certainly diagnosed that play perfectly because as fast as he got into the backfield, you're exactly right. The running back had no...
And it's out. He put it on the carpet. And he's not going to sniff the first down here. He stopped at the 25. And the defense not able to get it. From a defensive perspective, what's that moment like when you realize the ball goes loose?
It is a moment where all concentration goes right to the football. This is something you've talked about in all your preparation for the game. And you probably talked about this training camp. Knock the ball free, take it away from the other team, and now you have that chance. It's a little bit of deflation when they end up recovering it.
They knocked it free, but couldn't take it away. Isabella now from his end zone. And the decision to bring it out, not a good one, as he's tackled at the 15.
The Vikings take over first and 10 at their own 15-yard line.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the third quarter. Your 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the... On second down, Cook. And he'll scratch out a yard up to the 30, and that's all.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Oh, going for Jefferson downfield. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
I think it's fairly safe to call this game over, but they're still trying to bomb it downfield and add to their lead. Almost makes you start to feel for the defense and root for them a little bit, too.
And here's a very low-line drive, almost whiffed on it. So a change of possession here on the punt. And they will take over 1st and 10. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. Not the start to the drive they were looking for. That run doesn't do much at all.
No, not at all. It leaves them with 3rd and long, and you know this is the time of game where these drives really, really start to matter. They've got to make some moves.
The Packers on 3rd down. As bad as you can be. 0 for 7 thus far. This is going to be 3rd and 13. Again, it's Jones. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. Loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
I think this offense, specifically this running game, they got to find a way to turn the page because they haven't found a way to run it effectively thus far, and it's cost them.
Now Rodgers got to have this one. And it's going to be batted down. It will go the other way with the football. The Packers unable to pick up the first. And the Vikings, they have the football now in excellent field position. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. A 10th carry in the game for Cook. Always got some breathing room. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Dalvin Cook, his 2nd rushing touchdown of the year. And the Vikings are on their way to a 2-0 start. Extra point by Blankenship is up and good. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is taken just shy of the 10. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway.
Charles, we know that this offense is aggressive. We saw that last drive. They went for it on 4th down, didn't get it. Then they give up the touchdown, so now you feel like they really need to respond here.
They certainly do, but let's face it, sometimes when you take that risk, you understand if you fail, a little more onus goes back on your ball club to try to pick themselves back up.
He has it complete to Christian Watson. And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48.
Now a 1st down carry by Jones. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
Even with such a big lead late, the effort hasn't lapsed one bit. If the offense wants to score some points in this one, they're going to have to earn it. These guys are not giving up anything.
Rodgers to throw on 3rd and 1.
He'll find the blow complete.
And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. So much for the run on 3rd and 1. Instead, it's a big chunk in the pass game. 1st down. Into the red zone. It's Rodgers.
He'll find his tight end here, DeGuara. And they're going to get this down inside the 15.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair.
I don't care what sport you're playing. Everyone likes to build up a little momentum, don't they? And look at this, back-to-back completions to the big target at tight end.
That one not as profitable as the other. And somewhat of a measure of revenge as he's in for the touchdown, but they still trail big time.
He'll take it, but he won't be able to smile about it.
Now Matt Prater for the point after. And the lead is down to 24.
Makes the score Vikings 34.
So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. And the Vikings able to recover. The hands team does its job. Now they're down big here in the fourth. They had to try the onside kick. Can't fault them for the effort at least.
No, you can't at all. And if nothing else, now you've put something that you're trying to practice, right, that you've worked on into a game situation, and now you can go back and dissect it. So if you need it again sometime, maybe you'll find a better way to do it. But, yeah, this game's pretty much done for them.
And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. They'll try the middle with Cook.
And a good job of finding the open space to run as he's down close to the 30 here. 60 yards rushing for him now as he's run it 11 times.
Another example of this offense really having their way, Charles, and another big chunk play there on the ground.
And when you look at the defense, they've got to do a much better job of wrapping up when they tackle. A lot of great opportunities continue to slip through their fingers, as do the runners.
Yeah, so they get that one, Charles, on the right tackle.
Yeah, oftentimes in that spot, you're trying to work against a defender, trying to set the edge in the running game, and you're trying to drive around and get your body twisted so that he can't get there. Sometimes your hands get too involved.
Cook following the penalty. Bulldozes past him. 4 yards on the pickup. It'll be 2nd down.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
Oh, they're going to run a little pop pass here. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain.
That's a nice job there defensively, being able to diagnose that little touch pass. They saw it coming, converged on it before he could get much out of it.
They fake the handoff. Now Brady. Now the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down. So the final seconds have ticked away